What's going on, everybody? It's Sensei Mike at Kaizen Academy of Martial Arts. Today we're going to be going through the blue, high blue, and red belt curriculum, specifically focusing on the bow staff cycle. So if you're ready for it, let's get started. So one of the very first new strikes that you're going to be working on in your curriculum are knee strikes. These strikes are specifically for close quarter fighting, meaning somebody's in real close to you, too close to punch or kick. Maybe they're grabbing onto you, maybe you're grabbing onto them. Whatever the reason, knee strikes are a very powerful weapon for you to use. So let's go over the 4 different knee strikes that you're going to need. The first 2 knee strikes that we're going to do stay on the ground. The second 2 are jumping knees. So the first one is a rising knee, meaning we're bringing that knee up to strike our opponent, whether we're striking them up in the groin or we're pulling the head down and bringing our knee up to smash the face. So from here, I'll do it from the side so we can see. I'm going to be starting in my guarding stance. Now, just like in the form Yodan that you might remember, we're going to reach out and we're going to grab behind our partner or our opponent's neck. Okay, we're going to clinch them up nice and tight, and I'm going to be pulling the head down. As I pull the head down, that back knee comes up. I bring the heel as tight as I can to my booty. That way I make a nice sharp point with my knee, and I pull down as I rise up and smash the head. Remember to pull down and rise up at the same time so that you're getting equal amounts of force into the strike. You don't want to pull down too low and then do a little knee, and the head can't stay up here, and then you try to reach all the way with that knee. They got to come together and meet in the middle for maximum power. So again, I clinch up top. I'm grabbing the opponent by the back of the neck. I'm pulling the head down as I rise up with the knee, and I smash right in the middle. The next strike on the ground is going to be a thrust knee. So think of a thrust front kick where you're pushing that opponent away with a straight technique. You're doing the same thing with your knee strike. We're going to be aiming to the stomach on this one, and since we can't rise up to hit the stomach, we got to go in. So this knee strike comes from the hips. I do the same thing with my leg, tucking my heel to my butt as tight as I can, but I want to get that foot back a little bit more behind me. That way, when I pull in, I can get that knee up and use my hips to push forward, driving the knee in more of a straight line. So think of it like my old coach used to say, ring a doorbell. So you got a doorbell right there, you got to push the button. So I grab, I lift that heel up, and I lean into the strike with my hips, pushing the knee forward as I pull the opponent in at the same time. Here. The more you push with the hips, the more power you're going to drive into your strike. Now, the next 2 types of knees are jumping knees. The first one is a rising knee, just like the first knee we did on the ground, except this time our opponent might be a little taller, or they might be trying to fight us, and we can't pull the head all the way down. So we're going to jump to create more power and momentum into the strike, striking the nose. So from here, I'm reaching up again, I'm grabbing. This time I'd still pull down, but now I'm going to use the power from my jumping off of both feet, to reach up and strike at a higher level. So I'm grabbing up top here, I jump off of both legs, and like the jump front kick, I want to jump, then strike. So I'm here, I reach up and I jump, and I throw the knee. One more time, I reach up, and I throw the knee at the top. Now the last jumping knee that we're going to do is moving forward. We're doing the thrust knee again, but this time moving into the knee with a pedal kick style of strike. So if you remember pedal kick, I fake with the back leg, picking it up to direct the attention away from the actual leg that I'm going to be using. So this time I'm doing that same thrust with the knee, leading with my hip, except I'm going to be jumping and moving forward into it, distracting with the back leg first. So my back leg comes up and my front leg shoots forward. Again, back leg leads, switch, and throw those hips forward. It's real fun to do when you have a target because you just run right into it and use that knee to stop you, and you drive all that force into the center. One more time, a little faster. Back knee to front knee. 1, 2, and then down. Now, another fun new strike that we're going to be working on is a jumping round kick. So this is like our jump front kick we know how to do, except we're throwing a back leg round kick, which means we're still jumping first, but now a whole lot more turn, since I got to get the back hip and back shoulder in front of me to throw the back leg round kick. Now, just like a back leg round kick, the earlier I can fold flat like a table and bring it around, the more power I'm going to drive straight into the pad. Okay, remember, I want to chop this target in half. I don't want to be kicking up. So as soon as I jump, I get this leg up to my butt, bring my knee around flat as I can as I turn the shoulders and hips, and strike across to the middle, hitting with the top of my foot. All while doing this up in the air. So I jump, I get my shoulders moving, and I pick that back leg up and swing it sideways, hitting the bag. One more time. Jump, twist, get the hip around, get the shoulder around, and let that leg swing and drive into your opponent. It's okay. It's okay. All right, now we have the meat and potatoes part of our curriculum, the bow staff form. This is one of my favorite weapons to work with, so make sure you guys grab your bow staff. Make sure you have a ton of room as well because it's a big weapon. So if you have something smaller that you can use that's, let's say just this big, it's okay. You can still hold on to it and do all the moves you would with the entire bow staff, just practicing your grips with a smaller weapon if you don't have that much space. But if you do have some space, let's get working on the form here. So really quick, let's review the 3 spots we're going to be grabbing our weapon. Now, we hold our weapon with our right hand grabbing upwards and our left hand grabbing downwards. So I grab up with the right, down with the left. Now, the 3 sections that you're going to be placing those hands is, first off, number 1, in the center. All right, this is for all of your spinning techniques. Even when you're using one hand, you want it right in the middle so that you have the weight equally balanced and it's easier for the bow staff to rotate around. Now, the second place that you're going to be putting your hands is shoulder level. So I'm going to slide from the first spot in the middle. Hands are out about shoulder distance. Still grabbing right hand up, left hand down. Okay, this is for our basic striking. This is for some overhead strikes and stabs. Last place is halfway between second and the end of your bow staff. So halfway to the end, I'm going to slide the hands out, and this is third position. This is for our long strikes where we're reaching out all the way, striking to the top of the head. Maybe we're lunging and doing a longer stab. So position number 1, right in the center. Position number 2, shoulder level. And position number 3, halfway there. With that said, let's go through our bow staff form. You're going to start with the bow staff out in front of you, grabbing that right hand up, left hand down in second position, letting go of that left hand, and I'm going to put the bow staff behind my shoulder on my right side. Starting off in my attention stance, I'm going to bow, and I'm going to make sure that that bow staff goes with me and travels backwards when I do my opening bow. From that position, I'm going to step out with the left foot. I'm going to bring the bow staff out, pull the left side up, and grab down with that left hand to my ready stance. Now I'm going to turn to the left side with my front stance like I do in most forms. I'm going to step across, and I'm going to strike all the way across on the left side, straight out. I'm going to adjust my right foot to the right side, big step over, bringing the bow staff over my head to do an overhead strike on the right. If I'm in a good front stance right here, I'm just going to pivot to the front, over the top, and strike to the left. Now my right leg does a little mini check, kicks the leg, and stands out to a neutral stance. So about shoulder level, bending the knees. That way my bow staff can move in a straight line without hitting my leg. I'm going to do my 4 basic strikes, side to side, up and down. My left foot steps back to that same neutral stance. I look over the left shoulder. I'm going to do a little stab to the back here. And I'm going to look forward, front stance, and lunge stab forward here. Still in second position with all these strikes. Now I'm going to slide my left foot up and together. I slide my hands to the first position right in the center, dropping the right side down and across so that I can begin my figure 8 forward roll. So after I do this a couple times, I'm going to make sure the bow staff ends up on my left side. And at this point, when my right hand comes on top, I'm going to start to slide my hands out to third position and finish with a downward strike. So a little faster. My hands go to center. I drop down into a forward roll. I slide those hands out and finish in a long strike. Out with the right, left hand down by the belt. From this position, my front leg, my right leg, is going to travel around my body, not stepping backwards, step forwards, all the way around 3/4 spin, ending up facing on the right side. So I travel all the way around, ending up facing on the right side. I look forward, I bring that left hand from the hip, and I strike up under the chin, pivoting my stance and dropping down to another long strike, left hand at the hip, right hand hitting on the head. Stay in this stance as you slide your right hand and left hand together to first position. I'm pulling my right hand up and back. That's going to start my backwards figure eight roll. So it's coming up and past the shoulder, down, and then I start to bring it to the other side. When the right side gets down, I'm going to slide my hands back to second position, stepping forward and scooping into an uppercut strike, coming up to the shoulder like I'm flexing, making a muscle, and hitting underneath the chin. My right leg steps out to a front stance, still in second position. I overhead strike right. I do my spin step, step with the right, spin around with the left, as I overhead strike with the left side. My left leg steps side to side in that neutral stance as I strike forward with the left hand. Moving the bow staff out in front of me, I'm going to grab with just the right hand. Fingers should still be up, grabbing up on the bow staff in the first position, and I'm going to do my pinky roll. So that means I turn that pinky down and all the way to the top. When it gets to the top, I kick that bow staff over and I let it roll around the back of my hand, catching it. I'm going to grab, now that my hand is facing down, I'm going to grab upwards with the left hand. So my hands end up opposite. So now I have right hand down, left hand up. It's opposite than what it normally is, but that's okay. Because now I'm going to step forward with that right side, do the same forward strike. Now I move my hand out to center on this side. My hand is down, kind of like a punch, and I'm going to do a thumb roll. So I turn my thumb up, like I'm giving a thumbs up, and at the top there, I kick it over the hand to catch it. Now this one, I want to let that pinky side drop down and grab down on it with my left hand, and my hands end up back in the same position I started in, right hand up, left hand down. I step forward with a stab, finish with an overhead strike to the right. My feet slide together, left foot steps up, I circle the bow staff down in over the toes, make a big circle, keeping the left side of that bow staff underneath my arm as I open up the hands to a full circle and bow. So one more time, I do that overhead strike on the right, I step up, circle in and down past the feet, I open the hands at the top, finish in attention, and then bow. All right, guys, so that is our bow staff form. Make sure you guys practice all this curriculum at home, but get to class because the bow staff is a really cool weapon with a lot of intricate movements to it and a lot of little pieces to the puzzle that you have to have mastered to make sure you're moving the bow staff in the most efficient way possible. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you are notified anytime a new video comes out. If you guys like the bow staff I'm using right now, this is one of our burned wood bow staffs. You guys can order one. We'll custom cut it for your height, and we'll burn it, and I make it myself specifically for you. So thanks, everybody. This is Sensei Mike saying, we'll see you in the studio.